Hey, welcome to the virtual campground. Well, I'm not even going to ask us if you can hear us because we've gotten so good. No, I'm not going to say it.
No, you're going to jinx it.
I know, we're going to jinx it. How's everybody doing? It's great to see Full-Time Dream out there and Charlie from Forever Best Friend and Slick Willie. All right, Bill
Is this
Clinton
thing on?
in the house.
Is this thing on? I hope it's on. Is it on?
I hope so.
Charlie, tell us. Is it on?
Yeah, somebody tell us if we're... Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, but it seems like we've sort of got it figured out. Who knows, though?
I can't believe you just said that out loud.
At
any rate, hi guys. How is everybody?
We are live in near Alamosa, Colorado, near the Great Sand Dunes.
Yeah,
we can see the Great Sand Dunes, and actually most of the sand dunes are actually in our rig.
Yes, it feels that way.
It is so flipping
or in our shoes. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I sat down on the couch yesterday when I got up. There was literally like a layer of dust or sand. And then, okay, so the sand, if the sand isn't bad enough.
Oh my God. Last night it gets dark and I've got 3 or 4 lights on, and I look up and the lights are covered with tiny little bugs.
Tiny
it
little
is
bugs.
Insane.
They were swarm
everywhere.
Don't know what they were, but it was a swarm. Everybody had them. In the, we'll tell you more, but in this storage unit I was working in, when I went in there this morning, it was, I mean, literally there was probably 100,000.
Oh my God.
Dead.
Yeah, they were crazy. Tiny little things, so they got through our screens. And they were swarming all the lights, so we turned off all the lights and started vacuuming them up. And it was like the vacuum became you, and we can see in our vacuum.
Now you're
we have
nasty.
a fancy vacuum. We could see. It was kind of like having a zoo. We could kind of see them flying around in there. It was a lot of fun. Kim West is in the house. Oh my God! It's been forever to see Kim. We're heading home in December. Maybe we can get together.
Yep. So. First of all, we want to say that our hearts go out to everybody that was affected by Ida.
Yes.
We have lots
including
of friends.
My sister.
Your sister, Mary and Doug Poole. Lots of people that we know.
All my high school friends. Most of my high school friends. Yep.
Direct hit there in the Baton Rouge area.
Yeah. So I grew up in the Denham Springs area, right outside Baton Rouge, and that hurricane went right over Baton Rouge. I don't know where the eye went, but
it was
very close,
east of Denham Springs.
Okay, so very close, and did a lot of damage to a lot of people's homes, and the electricity is starting to come back, so that's good.
That is good. And I think up in the northeast coast, they're starting to get all the water gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. It went all the way up there.
So very, very sad about it.
It affected one of your best friends.
my cousin.
Your cousin, yeah.
She's not really my cousin, and Barry gets really kind of thinks it's funny. I call her cousin, but she's near cousin. Yeah, she's known me since I was literally born. So,
I have pictures of where we are.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
sure.
I do. Yeah,
so you want to talk about where we are? So we are right now, you mentioned, we're right outside the Great Sand Dunes.
Yep.
And we are out here because the event that we've talked to y'all about a couple times, Gut It, starts tonight, really.
Yeah, tonight.
And so we've been helping with setup, which those of you that have known us for a while know that we're former recovered event people.
That's right. We know events.
And so this has been fascinating to get right back into an event, a debut event. And we've been here since day one, before day one, really, day 0, and helping them get it all set up. And it has been fascinating.
It has been amazing. These guys have never done this event before.
Colorado.
Colorado. Yeah, we're in Colorado. Outside of Alamosa, Colorado, Great Sand Dunes National Park, near there. And so we're just in somebody has ranch land out here.
Yep.
And so
and he's a superstar.
Yeah, he's amazing. Great guy. And so he just let this group come on his land and carve out a campground simply. I mean, it's a boondockers campground.
Yeah.
But they had a big grater out here for days and days, just carving this out of what's
sand.
That plant called?
Chico.
Sand and Chico. And it's incredible. And so
you have to drive down a 2-mile county road.
That's Mount Blanca.
Yep.
Outside of Great Sand Dunes. And then you get a little closer, you can see our RV was
temporarily
actually our Jeep.
Parked.
Oh, that's our Jeep.
That's our
right
Jeep on
there.
That loop, because it was helping to pack down the sand.
Yeah, we just had someone borrowed our Jeep, and they were just driving that loop over and over and over for about an hour. You can see our rig there.
Yes, you can see that little tiny school bus, and then that's our rig there parked. But now we're parked out in an actual campground site, and we're surrounded by a lot of van lifers.
Yeah, van lifers and buses.
So for those of you that maybe don't know, Gutted is basically a competition. It starts tonight between a team for a van, a schoolie, and an RV, and they are going to completely transform it in 5 days. I have been helping to inventory all the things that they requested to go into to help them build this. That's been fascinating. So I've been spending a lot of time in a storage unit. We put up some shelves. Barry built some shelves. We put up some shelves, and we've been putting all this materials. They call it Al.
Well, it's pretty incredible. Each team said, that they're going to receive that video that has that RV that has nothing in it. And each team requested all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
And you've had to organize it.
Yes.
This is what the van life people wanted, and oh my gosh, they're missing this. And everyone's been scrambling to get all that stuff.
To find the stuff that's missing, yeah. So like things that didn't come in, or, oh, did you forget to order a toilet? Oh, well, we should get one of you those. So yeah, it's been a fun little thing. And now that they're all coming in, it's been fun interacting with them. But we are pretty much surrounded right now by van lifers and bus people, school busers. Yeah. Yeah, so
the RV people they're supposed to be here.
Yeah, we have a couple. So, I've seen a few. And now attendees are starting to come right now. We're actually, thank goodness for this show, we're getting out of standing out there and checking in attendees. We'll do it when it's cooler, after this show. Because it was a little bit warm today. But yes, a lot of dust, a lot of heat, but a lot of really nice things happening. It's going to be, this is the other thing that was interesting, because this is what's different about this event for us. We're used to events and things are going on and attendees get to go and do this and that. This is really more like a set, like a television set, and it's a production. It's being filmed, and so they're creating a series. And so you'll get to see this series and see my handiwork in the materials. Not me, but the materials. And probably in November. So we'll let you know when we know more about that. So
yeah, because it was really strange. You had it all organized, and then the guy who's in charge of the filming came in and said, okay, this is great.
It's well organized, but
for film production, we need it to look pretty and do this and that and move this and that. So it was just stuff we're not used to.
No,
you had it organized from an organizational perspective, and everything. Everyone is going to be able to find stuff. They wanted it to be pretty.
They want it to be pretty, so now they won't be able to find stuff. But it looks really pretty.
Yeah.
In fact, I think last night I posted a picture on Instagram if you want to go look. Johnny's in the house now. Hi, Johnny.
I'm sorry to hear about your derailleur. Hope you're better now.
Okay, but we have made a lot of new friends. The Hartfields are awesome. So shout out to Morgan and Seth and their kids. Camden drew this beautiful picture for Endless Adventure. It was very, very lovely. We'll have to get her to draw a picture for us of our rig.
Absolutely.
I just thought of that. So anyway, and then while we're on Johnny, hello Johnny, celebrations. Has anybody else in the house got a celebration? But I have only two. One of them is Johnny. He had a wedding anniversary. He celebrated 20 years.
Congratulations.
So congratulations to his wife that she's made it 20 years. Right, Johnny?
Nice.
Johnny said when he said that they were celebrating the 20 years that she told him he was lucky that he's made it this long.
Well, congratulations, Johnny. That's a nice milestone.
And then the other big celebration is I have my first fantasy football team.
Woohoo!
Woo! Look at me.
What's your team called?
Puff. Team Puff.
Team Puff for
Princess Puff.
For fantasy football.
Yes. Well, it's Marshmallow.
It's your first one.
It's my first one. What's your team called?
Here for the beer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we're doing fantasy football, and we got that all set up. What else has been happening? Oh, we had a
Drew. What's your team name?
Oh, does he have a special?
Like I think he's favorite grandson or something like that. Because we talked my grandmother, my 81-year-old grandmother,
she's
our mom, into being on our go.
She first had it set up for auto pick, so it would just automatically pick, the best next player to fill out your roster. But then she started looking at, he's got a nice smile, and she took it off auto pick and started picking people.
Well, she also was looking at the biographies, and if it said something like he got a second chance or whatever, she started picking them as well because she felt like people needed a second chance.
Nice.
So,
nice.
But she has a pretty good team, so we're going to see.
Yeah,
she plays you this week.
Oh, does she?
You versus her. Tomorrow we have to.
I'm going to take Grandma out.
All right.
So on the glass half full thing, we did have a problem with the Jeep a week or so ago, and we got stranded in the most beautiful
Isn't
place
that the prettiest
that I've
place?
ever been stranded in. So this was on the way to where were we
Oh
going?
yeah, we were
Georgetown,
headed
or
to Guanella Pass to have
Guanella
pizza for our
Guanella
youngest
Pass
son
Brewery.
to have pizza. Yeah, and we got probably within 30 minutes of it, or not even closer, I think, and had the breakdown. The what happened? Something exploded.
Oh, transmission line, something other. Yeah, I don't know.
But
wasn't horribly expensive.
But what you can see in this picture is right outside the picture, as you're looking at it, was a
kind of a hole in the wall bikers bar restaurant
and bar. So that's not a bad place to break down.
I had a great bison burger while I was waiting for the tow truck.
Exactly.
So it was not a bad place to be.
So anyway, but now we're back. The Jeep is back.
Yeah, Jeep is back.
That's
and,
awesome.
It's fairly functioning.
Yeah. The other weird thing that happened, we've had an interesting week.
It's been
the other weird thing. So we were headed from Loveland down to here, and we stopped in. Yes, you do remember. And we stopped in Colorado Springs.
Yes, we did.
And then we spent the night at Colorado Springs, but during the next day, we drove over to the Walmart because we had a bunch of errands we wanted to run in Colorado Springs. So we parked in the Walmart.
We stayed at a Harvest Host, and the Harvest Host guy said, this parking lot's going to get really busy. If you're going to leave, you ought to do it earlier in the morning rather than wait till later in the day.
Because we'll get penned in. So we went to the Walmart, and we all know Walmart. Super friendly, right?
Right.
Usually.
Well, most Walmarts you can park in. Yeah.
And lots of huge parking lots, so you have a lot of room to park a rig. So we went there and parked, and then we got in the Jeep, and I took you to a coffee shop because you were going to work, and then I was going to run some errands. I came back, I don't know, about maybe 4 hours later, and was going to put the stuff back in the rig and then go get Barry in the Jeep. And this security guy comes up to me and he says, is this yours? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, you need to move it because they called the tow truck about an hour ago and they're on their way to come tow you. That you're not allowed
tow our rig from the Walmart parking lot.
Yes. That you're apparently not allowed to just park for hours it's a city ordinance. It wasn't a Walmart rule, but it's some sort of city rule that you can't leave the rigs unattended, just park there. Now, maybe if we'd been sitting in it, I don't know. But
and we were going to shop at Walmart.
Yeah, we were going to go in. It was my last.
They just didn't know that.
Yeah, it was my last stop. But anyway, so we didn't.
Yeah,
so
lesson learned. Lesson learned, and
so that meant
don't leave your vehicle at Walmart.
And just because I want to tout my own horn, right?
Right.
I moved the rig.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She
called me and said, "Get here." I looked up Uber, and Uber said it's going to take like 30 minutes to get a car to you, and so it was like she just hopped in it and drove it to me.
Picked him up at Starbucks, and came back and got the Jeep. So yeah, that was a busy week for us for that, and then we headed down here, like we said, to gut it, and have been in the dust ever since.
Yeah, it's been nice.
I do have a question of the day.
Oh, question of the day.
Question of the day. In honor, because it's back to school season, even though many of us are not in that season anymore. Oh my gosh. Well, Drew went back to school. Yeah. So we have one more year.
One more year back to school.
Yeah. He didn't send me a picture. Anyway, what is the oldest public school in the U.S.?
The oldest public school?
The oldest public school in the United States.
Harvard.
Public school, like a school, not a college.
Not a college?
Not a college.
No, and I guess Harvard's private. So public school.
Is it private? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, but the oldest public school in the United States. See if anybody knows. Or just what city do you think it's in?
All right. Oldest public school. All right. I'll have to think on that one.
Yep. A lot of famous people graduated from it. Okay. So today we're going to talk about events.
Yes. Because we're at one, and we have another one coming up.
Yes. So it just seemed logical, and this is the season, so to speak, of events. We've seen there are a lot of events going on. A lot of folks that we know are going to events. So we thought, let's talk about all the different events. I know a lot of people ask, what events are there? What events should we go to? We haven't been to all of them, but we thought we'd talk about them anyway. And hopefully you guys have some comments and can share what events you've been to, what RV events you've been to, or if we're talking about an event, you can tell us in chat or in comments later, what you think about the different events. We'd love to get other people's opinions.
Yeah, because we're digging the events, and we'll talk more about it, but like RVE is really, really important to us, and so we'll talk more about why we like events.
Yep. But first. And no, it's not Philadelphia, by the way.
What? Oh, somewhere in Philadelphia. Okay. Deborah's News?
Deborah's niece.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Deborah's News.
All right. Well, speaking of Ida, as we were earlier, Outdoorsy, the very popular RV rental organization, is helping the people left homeless by the hurricane.
We've rented from them.
We have rented from them. That's how we figured out we could do this lifestyle.
That's right.
But they are working with the folks that let people, rent their RVs, ask them if they want to make their vehicles available to anybody that's been left homeless by the storm. And so if you're interested, you can go on outdoorsy.com. They have a temporary housing form that you can fill out if you want to lend out your rig. And they're particularly looking for travel trailers and fifth wheels, of course, not motorized, but I think they probably take them. But yeah, that's a nice thing that the RV community can do.
Yeah.
Johnny cheated.
Brilliant.
He looked it up. Yes, Johnny. Boston
that's
Latin
right.
School. Yep. It is
Often right. Google is wrong.
That's right.
I
okay.
disagree with Google quite often.
Do you? At any rate, more on that. Okay. The other kind of sad. This is very sad, actually.
Yeah.
As everybody knows, there's been tons of fires. We
but
basically
RVers, you need to know about it.
Yes, we they started really when we were in Oregon, and we've been basically smoked out in many of the places we went to because of all the fires. And the couple that have been happening, especially in California, the National Forest Service has closed all 20 million acres of national forests in California. Isn't that crazy? That's a third
amazing.
of the state's landscape.
That's incredible.
So because of safety concerns and also just strained firefighters' resources, they've closed all of those areas, so you cannot go camp there. So just make sure you know that. So yeah. Unfortunately, the Calder fire is only 29% contained, and Dixie is only 55% contained.
You get down one of those long forest roads down to a campsite down there. It's stunningly gorgeous, but it's hard to get out of there if a fire comes up on you.
You don't want to be stuck there. Okay. So then the next piece of news was about I got my pages messed up. Sorry. Is about this new rig. We talk about rigs a lot and different kinds of rigs, and I wanted to point out this is a German-based manufacturer, Volkner. They recently debuted this rig. It is the most expensive rig. Anybody want to guess how much this rig costs?
$2 million.
Over $2 million. And if you add the $4 million, $3 million Bugatti, it's then a total of $7.7 million. Because, why not? Why wouldn't you have that car, right?
Where do you put your paddleboard if your car is under there?
Well, you could not have the car to put your paddleboard. But yeah, there's a little garage, so that car slides into the little garage, and so you can drive down the road. You're not towing, you're just, I guess you are towing, but it's inside the rig. But the inside features some hand-laid wood veneers, and
is that what
350? Nope, that's not. That's a different one.
That's a different one.
So the interior of the Volkner has a $354,000 audio system.
Wow.
Yeah. So this just got debuted, and just probably a month before that, another company, Dimbell, they did this next one, the other picture. Yep. And they were aspiring to be, as they called it, the most luxurious land yacht the world has seen. And theirs is only $2 million.
Where in Germany can you drive these? I
wondered that myself. And then their interior, we do have a couple pictures of their interior. I like their interior better than the other one. But anyway, nice. If you have a few $1 million, first of all, call us. And then second of all, you could buy yourselves a really nice rig. Yeah.
And no basement.
No, because you got a car in the basement.
Yeah, and I just can't imagine someone with that kind of money really is going to be into carting their Bugatti around Germany.
It's got to be just one of those things where, some rich and famous guy buys it, parks it somewhere, and then, like on a movie set, and then,
you're not living in it or...
No. And driving it? No. And just, again, FYI for all you guys that are we're going to talk about later, Escapees events. They are now among the first businesses to require proof of either full COVID-19 vaccinations or a negative test if you want to go to one of their events. So you either have to show them that you've been vaccinated or you've had a test within, I think it's 3 days. So make sure if you are planning to attend anything for escapees that you do double check with that so you are not caught by surprise.
A lot of people doing that now.
Yep. And then on a very sad note, we in the RV family want to send our love out to Luann Street, Brian Street of Streets That Wander.
Where the Streets Wander?
Where the Streets Wander, yes. He unfortunately died recently, and so our prayers and love go out to Luann and her family. They usually publish a travel planner that I know a lot of us have used. So you might know Brian or Luann. So just wanted you to keep her in your prayers. Yep. Exactly.
Good news.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Except for that last part.
Well, the last
was
not good news, but I thought it was important for people to know. Yeah. All right. So you want to talk about events?
I do. So so the theme is events because we are at it. No, we're rolling. We're down that path. Okay,
sorry.
We cannot stop.
Never mind.
What do we want to talk about?
I was just going to say that Johnny was right. It was the Boston Latin School, founded in 1635, and it graduated 5 people that signed the Declaration of Independence, including Ben Franklin and John Hancock.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes, NASCAR drivers. Yeah, exactly. They're going to drive movie stars, whatever, rock and roll stars. What? I sound like I'm 70 years old. They
never mind.
They have somebody else drive it there, and they just go and enjoy it for their time they're shooting their moving pictures.
That's the old man. Okay.
So we went. Deborah's brilliant idea was we're at an event. Let's just keep talking about events. So we're at Gutted, and that ends Sunday, and then I've got to go do a little thing in Denver. But when I come back, we're going straight to Ouray, Colorado.
Yes, we are.
And we are not going to stop except at the car wash. We're going to stop at the truck wash because this rig is filthy.
Can it wash the inside?
Yeah, we can. And then we're going to go to the Ouray, Colorado area because we have our event, which we've talked about before, but just wanted to remind you, it is Camp Carpe Diem. There are still a few tickets left if anyone's interested in coming. campcarpediem.com, or you can email info@campcarpediem. And we are going to have a great time doing some bike rides. I'm doing some photography expeditions, and my partner on the photography side of the world is coming in, and he's going to help us lead some photography excursions. And we've got some beer tasting and stuff. And so it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get there.
I can't either.
And then you top that all off with the Colorado Fall Colors that are going to be there.
Gorgeous.
And it's just an amazing place.
It is.
So,
it's going to be great fun.
Yeah, if any of you are on the fence, sign up.
There's a lot of really nice people going to be there. Mm-hmm. And that's, that was one of the reasons we even did it, right? Because we wanted... We really have bonded with a lot of folks at events and thought, well, let's have an event to help other people bond and find their tribe with other RVers, people that they can be close to on the road. Because those of you that travel quite a bit, it's just great to have that outlet. If you're a full-timer, that you have other people that understand what the world you're doing. And then even if you're not a full-timer, that you have people that you can ask questions of, that sometimes you can meet up with, because that's just so much fun when you can do that. So,
just sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
But like Morgan here, we met Morgan, and they're recently new full-timers, and they're traveling pretty fast. So we did that when we started, and we were able to share our wisdom with them, so to speak.
Wisdom. Again, because he's 70 and old,
that's right,
he's very wise. Johnny says he's probably closer to 70. I don't think so, Johnny. Okay, so but what I was going to say was, when you rudely interrupted me, just kidding, you didn't. One of the ways we got this idea was from an event that we attended, which is actually happening this weekend as well.
Yeah, we unfortunately can't make it.
Right, and this is our first time not to make it since the second one. We didn't make it to the very first one, but the RV Entrepreneur Summit, and we've met several of you that are actually in the chat right now there. That's where we met Liz, who we bought the virtual campground from. Charlie was there, and they've had now, I guess this year's let's see, fourth one in person, but last year was virtual because of COVID.
Rained out. Yeah. They had it, but they moved it all online.
Right, because you kind of had to. But great event put on by Heath and Alyssa Pageant. If you know them, you know they're delightful people, and they've done just a really fantastic job. It's a lot of speakers, some good social. But this year it was really special. The last 2 years have been in Gunnersville, Alabama, which was a great state park. If you're in the area, and we really enjoyed it. It was great to hang out with all of our friends. But this year was special because they just bought a campground in Montrose, which is not far outside of Ouray.
We're going to be near there.
Yep, we're going to see them, and so they had the event there, and it's boondocking because it's not a finished campground yet. So that's kind of fun that they were doing all of that. So
Be good to see them in their new campground.
So RVE Summit, great if you are a full-timer working from your rig. That's probably the best audience for that one.
Because they have speakers that come in and talk about WordPress and social media, how to do it better, and
really it's very business oriented. And I guess you don't really have to be full-time, but that you do some work remotely. Like Charlie's not full-time, but I don't think, but she was there and got a lot out of it with the speakers. They great speakers. They always have a lot of other full-time RVers, that are on the road. They share their experience of building their business on the road, and all their Instagram and Pinterest and all those things we get confused by.
We love RVE Summit.
So highly recommend RVE Summit to you. Usually it's held in March. This was an unusual year because they didn't have it.
Yeah,
they didn't have it last spring because 2020 was when it got COVIDed out and it was virtual. So they didn't have it this last March because they weren't planning on, and they were in the process of moving into Montrose. And then they decided once they had the campground to kind of have this impromptu one. So keep an eye out whether they have it again in the spring or the fall. We highly recommend it.
Yep.
And then the new event that I had never even heard of this event, but we were in Loveland, Colorado, and happened upon it. Some folks in the community told us, "Hey, you should go out there and see it." And then some of our friends were out there.
Yeah, so we had we found out that the Highlands, Eric and Brittany, were speaking. sorry. We're speaking. We know some other Brits and Britons, and so they were speaking. And also the Holcombs were out there. So Peter and Kathy and their lovely daughter, and Abby. So we thought, well, why not? I had a few hours available on Sunday, so I went out there and photographed it and did some video really. So shall we show that?
Show that. Roll that film.
Here's Overland Expo Mountain West. Hey, this is Barry with the virtual campground. I found the Highlands from Hourless Life, so just wanted to say hi. We are Overland Expo Mountain West, and what are you doing here?
So we are showcasing our brand new build, our Jeep Gladiator, that we're going to be driving around the world on a 10 to 15 year journey. We call him Dauntless, and he is well equipped for this journey. We're also doing 5 presentations here at Overland Expo Mountain West. We have one left. which we're headed to in just a few moments, which is called?
We're doing a roundtable about overlanding with kids.
So we have 4 more shows to do here in the United States between now and October 9th. So it's going to be a really, really busy time. We're going to do a video shoot with Overland Expo. We're going to do RV Entrepreneur Summit in Montrose, Colorado, Flagstaff, Arizona's Overland Expo West, and the Texas Avid Outdoor Expo in Llano, Texas. And then we say goodbye to Brittany's folks in Corpus Christi and head south of the border and begin our global journey.
Wow. When do you think you'll be crossing the border?
Hopefully somewhere between maybe October 6th and October 9th, we'll cross the border into Mexico, and then this vehicle won't come back to the United States for about 10 to 15 years.
If people wanted to follow your journey, how would they do that?
I'm blocking the sign. I think it's right here, Hourless Life, Barry.
Awesome. Thank you, Highlands. Good luck on your journey, and
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks for letting us pop by. Bye, Caspian.
Say bye-bye.
Bye, bye-bye.
We talk about overlanding with kids. The first thing I want to say, you guys, is it's totally doable. Caspian, like I said, went straight from the birthing room of the hospital to our Jeep. He's never known a life apart from this.
Our last state is going to be Hawaii. We're going there in December. In 2019, we shipped our Revel Sprinter van to Europe. We did 23 countries over there in 6 months, and we're looking to go all the way around the world. So.
All right, here we are. We found the Holcombs, and I've got Peter here. Just wanted to say hi. We're still at, where are we? Overland Expo Mountain West.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Loveland, Colorado.
So yeah, so what are you doing here?
Oh my gosh, we're having a blast here at Overland Expo. We're teaching classes, we're hanging out with van people, hanging out with all sorts of actually people in trucks and Jeeps and Unimogs and you name it, it's here. And just really interesting folks who love to travel and are taking it all over the world.
And this is your rig behind us.
This
We've
is
got
our Sprinter
kayaks
van.
on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been seeing photos of that all over the place. You have been on the road quite a bit. So where do you go next?
Well, we're thinking right now we've got a couple of days around Denver, and then we're going to probably head to Oregon and just go surfing down the Oregon coast, do a surf trip, and then we'll end up at Overland West in Flagstaff in about 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
All right. And if people want to follow you, find out more about Famagogo, where do they
Yeah, it could be famagogo.com, FAMAGOGO.com, or it's just Peter Holcomb at Instagram.
go? Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Peter.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
joining us.
Good to see you.
Yeah, so the Holcombs are fantastic, and yeah, you're right. Peter has some amazing photography.
So who
follow
do you
him.
think would normally go to the Overland Expo?
So these are people that are van life, people that don't want to stay in traditional campgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So they're people that are off staying, they're boondocking, they're finding places that are just off the grid, and yeah, going way deeper than you and I could ever do in this
Yeah.
rig.
So those expos happen multiple places around the country.
Yeah, there's west that's happening soon or has just happened.
Yep.
And then there's an east one.
Yeah, Jared across the street from us right now, Banner, he said he's going to that one coming up. So that really is probably the audience for that is less RVers really and more folks with the camper, tent campers or like
big
you said,
four-wheel drive
vans
vehicles that are going to get you off-road.
Yep.
Yeah.
and go up hills like that where your wheels don't touch.
And you know what I was surprised about is how many motorcycle
really?
riders there were. There was a whole section of motorcycle-oriented overlanders, and then they had a track out outside that in a different part where you could test motorbikes and do different things. So
well, we know
it was
Jill that we met at RVE
Mm-hmm. Jill Sessa.
Summit. She did motorcycle for a year. Yeah, so absolutely different way to travel than I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Just so we were clear.
I mean, we would have done that.
I'm never going to do that.
We would have done that. I mean, but
when
we
were
now,
20 something.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't have done it then, probably.
No, probably not.
All right,
okay.
what's next?
So the big kahuna as far as events go is the Escapees.
Yes.
So Escapees RV Club has multiple events, and they have, so the escapers are really more of the folks that travel in RVs for fun. I mean, it's a mix of everybody, but traditionally that's how it started, whereas Escapers was more geared to the people that were traveling in RVs and working full time from them. Tended to be a little bit on the younger side. So they kind of have these different events. They have the Escapade. Escapade has to be
Escapade.
Escapade. Yep. That is a 5-day big event for everyone. They have their hangouts, which are really more casual, and then the head out, which is specific to a place or a destination that they take care of all the details, and you just sort of show up. Escapers Convergences are, they have the activities really outside of working hours because they assume you're working, and they're usually boondocking sites. And then their big bash is sometime around New Year's. So they have those. Plus, they have a lot of educational places you can go. They have like a RV 101 and different things. So again, the Escapees events, they almost always sell out.
Oh yeah.
In fact, a quick look at their upcoming calendar. Their September and October are sold out already. Yeah. And they have some boot camps in Texas in November and December that I think still have some room in them. But we know a lot of people that attend them.
Yeah, people love them.
Yeah, they love them.
We just haven't
been able to
make them.
No, we haven't made one. But our good friends, the Hoppers, have. Mm-hmm. They go several times. In fact, Marcia told me they've attended their events over 5 years. And what she said is they love the variety of activities offered at the events, the chance to see the different rigs that people are traveling in, and to meet new people. They said that it's where they've met people who've become really good friends. Yeah. So again, it's a great thing. And Escapers has been around forever, for a really long time. So they know what they're doing. I know we get questions a lot about mail, where to get mail and stuff as you go full time, and Escapers is a great resource for that. Yep. A lot of those things. So not to push you to an Escapers event, but I think that they do a lot of great events.
There's all kinds of events, and that's a great organization. Yeah. Providing a valuable service to the RV community.
Yep, absolutely, and some good events. So you want to look at their calendar for 2022 and get on it right when the tickets go on sale, because they do sell out really quickly. The other big boondocking event, the other big event in the RV world is Quartzsite. I never say it right.
Quartzsite.
Quartzsite.
Well, it's the name of the town is Quartzsite, Arizona.
Okay.
And so people go there all the time throughout the winter, but there's a 2-week period where there's a huge show. Yeah, 2-week period in January where there's a huge show, and I think I have an overhead photo of it. There we go. And it looks mammoth. We were near Quartzsite this January, but we didn't make it to the show. But that just looks overwhelming. Yeah,
and what we've heard about that is, I think you have to go there with kind of the feeling of, you're just going to have this experience of this true RV experience, because it's one of those baptism kind of things, RV baptisms, and you just have to do it once in your RV lifetime. But that it is a lot of feels state fairy kind of because it's a lot of vendors, and they said they never want to use credit cards. You can always talk them down.
It's cash, and you negotiate, and it's it's like so if you're looking to go buy a lot of things for your rig, this might be a great opportunity to bring a lot of cash and go.
There's a guy we know that's gone out there and he helps people with solar. So it is an interesting event. But again, in boondocking, there's a campground somewhere close to Quartzsite, but for the most part, it's boondocking, and it's boondocking with just a few thousand of your favorite friends. So if that's your scene, then that's a great fun event to do. It is in January, so it's not too hot.
Yeah, no, it's a great time to be in January or to be in Arizona. And the cool thing about that whole area, most of Arizona is just chock full of great places to boondock. And you park for free
for
a lot of fun. A couple of weeks, and it's great.
There's a lot of really cool places to see for sure. So, and then you can't talk about RV events without talking about RV shows.
Yes. So the biggest one, I think it's the biggest one.
It calls itself. It's funny. They all say they're big, but this one is literally their website is largestshow.com. Yeah. So. And
that looks pretty big.
Yeah, that looks pretty big. So it is.
Hershey,
in fact,
Pennsylvania RV
it is
show.
33 football fields of RVs from 30 different manufacturers. They say there's more than 1,400 RVs on display that you can walk in and out of, I guess.
That's insane.
So yeah, you want to make sure you have good walking shoes when you go there. But you get to learn about the newest models, RV lifestyle. Plus, I've also heard, of course, they don't want to take all those RVs back home with them. So you probably could get some
good show
negotiate
prices.
some good show prices. Though that's a show that our good friends, the Johnsons, always go to. Now they own Techno RV, so they have a tent there. Yeah. But that is one event that they say is definitely worth it for them as a business to go to and attend. And
lots of product in the expo, and lots of places, lots of booths to go by and see cool things to buy.
And so that happens in September, so we might make it next year because we might be on that side of the world.
That'd be fun. We could help the Johnsons out.
Yeah, we could. That'd be fun. And then, of course, there's another one in Tampa that they say is the largest. That's held in January. The next date of it is January 19th to 23rd. It's actually right around the same time as Quartzsite. So it's called the RV Super Show. So I don't know anything about that one.
I've heard about it. Yeah. It's similar to Hershey.
It's very similar to Hershey, yeah. So about the same size. So yeah, Johnny, it's huge. But Johnny, did you think it was fun? Did you?
Yeah. Was it worth it?
Was it interesting? Yeah. Was it worth the trip out there to see it? I'd be really curious to get your opinion. So yes, so that is RV shows. Those are the big ones. I mean, there are all kinds of regional ones. There's lots of other regional events and things. And then, of course, the other big thing that happens in the RV world, and I guess, well, I should say the RV world, it happens everywhere, is virtual events.
Yeah. Yep.
Certainly got a lot more of them in the last year. But RV community, I think, has always had, before COVID, lots of virtual events because, of course, we're all scattered. Yep. So there's several. The one that we know about coming up is, of course, the Full-Time Freedom Week. We've participated in that for several years now. This year we're actually speakers. Did you know that?
I did know that. Our good friend Liz Wilcox, from whom we bought the virtual campground, and her and her crew invited us to speak at this one. We're doing a recorded session.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that.
With Barry's usual sense of humor.
Yeah, so it's worth tuning in just for that alone.
Just for that. I think we're on Wednesday. I haven't heard, actually.
Liz sent us a little bit of a commercial.
Oh, she did?
Shall we play that?
Sure, let's play.
Okay. Here we go.
Y'all
Here's
can see Liz.
Wilcox.
Hello, Liz Wilcox here. I am so excited to be back at the virtual campground. If you don't know me, I actually started the virtual campground back in 2016 before Deborah and Barry took it over in 2020. And I'm so excited to be invited back to talk to you about a little something called Full-Time Freedom Week. This is another idea that I had way back in the day that has just turned into something so awesome, so much bigger than my little ideas, and I hope that you think it's as exciting for you as it is for me. I'm just gonna keep rolling. If you're new to me, you have to know I'm only semi-professional, so here we go. At least this is being pre-recorded. If you go back into the old archives and if you see my face, you'll likely see a lot of live shows that are buffered. Barry and Deborah are so much more professional than me. Anyway, I'm really excited to bring to you Full-Time Freedom Week 2021. I'm going to share my screen, and this is basically, if you've ever heard of Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, this is like RV Week on the internet. So it's like that, but it's all RVing. And so whether or not, you are in this planning stages, you've been on the road for a while, we want to help you make your RVing better. It's going live. You can see here in the graphic here, the 20th through the 24th, we've got a ton of awesome speakers at you. We've got Phil and Stacy from You, Me, and the RV, The Wayward Home, Abby and Jason of the RV Miles. They are super fun. Nate and Rachel, Eric and Brittany of Hourless Life. Now, if you have ever thought about overlanding, come listen to their talk. Even if you're not thinking about it, it's super interesting. We've got Earl, we've got Chicory's Travels, Adventures with Tuckney. We're going to have live music at the event. Asha She's a singer-songwriter out there on the road, and she's given us permission to like play some of her songs. We also have like actual live music coming. Heath and Alyssa, I'm sure you've heard about them. I know Deborah and Barry interviewed them in one of the virtual campground lives. Move with Mac. Hey, Deborah and Barry, the superstars that they are. Check them out. They're going to come on and they're going to be talking about RV maintenance and repair. Oh my gosh, super excited. As you can see, we've got a ton of awesome people coming in, and scroll up without trying to make you vomit. You can see here, you can see the schedule. We're going to be going live for the kickoff on the 20th. We're going to get right into the content. Hey, there's our lovely Deborah and Barry. So excited, etc., etc. I'll let you go right to fulltimefreedomweek.com. I'm sure Deborah and Barry have linked in the show notes. We're going to do a farewell party. So I hope to see you there. What you want to do is just go to fulltimefreedomweek.com. Just click whatever link Deborah and Barry have got for you down in the notes. And we've got, you can sign up to attend for free, but we also have a couple options here if you know you want to watch all the content, but you know that week is busy for you. You want to get exclusive discounts from our partners, a workbook, etc., etc. You can also upgrade, but you totally don't have to. You can register for free. We'd love for you to be a part of it, especially from the virtual campground, My Roots. That would just be so awesome to see all the awesome TVC folks, in the chat and everything else. And I hope you guys come check out Deborah and Barry's talk on Wednesday, I believe it is. And they've also got an exclusive coupon for you just when you sign up and you attend. We're really excited about it. I hope to see you there. Click the link in the notes.
Oh, okay. Coming by surprise. I was just
you weren't paying attention.
Just checking my
fantasy
football league.
So there, so super excited.
Super excited.
Always super excited when
if you know Liz, you know she is super excited. She's a sweetheart, lots of energy,
and lots of fun to watch. You're right, Johnny. She's lots of fun to watch. But yeah, so we do have links in the show notes. And like she said, you can watch it for free during live during it while it's going on. But it's so action-packed, and there's so many speakers that it might be hard, unless you just are going to sit there for a week and watch. So it's good to get one of the passes. They have a 30-day pass, and then they have a lifetime pass. The 30-day pass, if you buy it before it begins, which it begins September, 20th. If you buy it before, it's only like $19. So
such a bargain.
$20. So it's a really good. And then that way, over 30 days, you can sit and watch all of the folks that you want to watch, and you can watch us over and over again.
Over and over.
I'm sure you'd want to. And they do have a lot of things they're giving away. Mm-hmm. So definitely want to tune in some lives. And they are going to have some live shows, so you can ask questions in the chat of the experts that they have on. And they, like she showed you, they have a lot of good experts. They are not the only virtual seminar in the world. We've talked to you before about others like Sherry Collier, which we were also on hers. We had her on, and we were in her live or in her seminar virtual. And then the Loves, who we had on, they have one every year. There's several of them, and those I find them to be really good, especially if you're looking for some specific information and can watch them while they're running for free. I've bought a few of them. I'm really bad about it. I buy them, and I
then
really
don't go back
watch
to them. And that's the thing. If you watch it live, then you have that scheduled sense of urgency to get it done.
But the that's why I like the $30 pass, because then I know I have 30 days to watch it. So I think that's helpful. When I think I have all my whole life,
I'll get to it eventually.
But anyway. That's just a little bit of honesty there, honestly. So
we're pulling back the curtain for you tonight.
But there are a lot of good virtual summits. If you find one that you're curious about, we'd be happy to talk to you a little bit about it and
let us know if you have any questions.
Let you know if we know about it and can give you any tidbits on it. But I absolutely do think Full Time Freedom Week is a really well done. The four ladies that put it on, Liz, Camille, Kelsey, and Julie, were full-timers for a long time.
They have a ton of RV experience.
And they have a lot of RV experience. And they've morphed. You can see Liz is now in Florida. You can see that she still loves NSYNC, and yes, still wears her headbands. But yeah, but she will be, I know, live at least once during Freedom Week. So you want to check that out. So yeah, okay. I think that's pretty much it. Do y'all have any questions about any events? Charlie had an event this year, the Great Paw Out. We talked about that when we interviewed her. That was more geared for people with dogs. There are a lot of, it's just, there are so many RV events out there, honestly. So you can pretty much find one that fits your niche and your need.
And the thing is, get involved, because like you mentioned, when we first started, we really, it got pretty lonely. We had no idea, no one to, help us, no one to give us advice, whatever. But once we found a group, through RVE, it really, really made our travels better. And that was really important. And then now that we're doing this virtual campground thing, we want to take the virtual campground from being virtual to in person. So it'll have both components, and it'll be fun. It'll be
a lot more fun, and we'd love to be able to meet and connect with more people. And so we, for sure, as we mentioned earlier, we have Camp Carpe Diem coming up in Ure, as we've mentioned. But we also plan some informal things that through the year we've mentioned before. We're going to be in Dardendale State Park in Arkansas in late October.
It's a beautiful part of Arkansas.
It is, and it'll be fall foliage there as well.
Hopefully we'll get some fall colors there. So.
And then we'll be in Lake Caddo, November 14th.
Yeah, we're staying at Caddo Lake State Park, which borders Texas and Louisiana. It's a beautiful lake. So yeah, come
and that's
join us
when Texas gets fall colors in November. So we'll be there the 2 weeks around Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving. Yeah.
I know,
Johnny. We're waiting for you to get on the road. We want to see you.
That's right.
So yeah, and then the other thing so as far as how you can help us, we do have in the show notes the link for the Full-Time Freedom Week. Even if you just register for free, if you use that link, it just lets them know that you came from us, which is always helpful.
That'd be great.
And then if you do purchase something, it will track it so that it knows to send us our few dollars of commission which just helps us keep no extra cost to you. So it just helps us with any of those affiliate links. If you're ever needing to look at virtual shows, for sure, rarely the in-person shows or events, but other things that when you have purchases to make, if you can go to our page, our resources pages, and use one of our links, it just helps us out a little bit.
Yep. And I don't know if you can tell, another thing, we've got our merchandise. We're starting to get our merchandise in order.
Yes.
So Deborah's wearing one style of
you can't
lady
see
shirt.
It says the virtual campground. You can't see the stripe.
I'm wearing one style. I've got the cool hat, and so we haven't made it. It is live on the website. It's /store. It's not in a menu yet, which I guess I ought to do.
Yes, you should.
But yeah, so if you have any questions about that, just email Barry@thevirtualcampground.com, and I'll get that link to you. And we do have a sort of a sale going on right now. I'll get you the coupon for the discount.
We'll put that in show notes. We will. And just so you know, the women's t-shirt runs a little bit small.
Yeah.
Or I washed it in a really hot dryer, one of the two.
Yeah, which could have been. We've been doing that lately. So
these dryers, we've been using dryers
since our dryer broke.
Our dryer broke, so we've been using other people's dryers. And I took our clothes one time when we were in Montana to the laundromat and used their dryer, and I am not kidding, it melted one of Barry's shirts. So, and I couldn't touch the clothes; they were so hot. So anyway,
speaking of events,
yes,
they need some help out there. So I guess we better get out there. So
now that the dust is a little bit calmer, we looked up earlier and it was just a huge dust storm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sandstorm, I guess it is, not dust. Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for being here.
Yes.
It's great to have you. Great to hang out with you.
Nice to see everybody.
And
what's the outro?
The outro. So we were here for the setup, and so I just every now and then would set up the GoPro and just do a time lapse. I did time lapse in a couple of videos, and then I got the drone out. So this is just a compilation of a few. It's a really quick one. Compilation of a few things. Good to see you, Kim.
Thanks for getting on.
Tell John we said hi. So it's just a compilation, real quick, of our setup here, and it is Johnny, that's the thing. We can't get these hats printed right, or the shirts. They're all backwards.
I didn't think about that.
There is a mirror effect that we can do on here, but it kind of looks wonky to us.
It makes us feel very confused because
it makes
puts
us
me
seasick.
On that side.
So,
and I'm on this side.
Yeah. So, But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this is just a quick time lapse and video of our setup, and thanks for being here, guys. It's so great to see you here, and until we can see you in person one day, we hope to see you soon in the virtual campground.
Bye.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We don't ever need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I. Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance.